Here's why everyone is moving to Peachtree City. One of the biggest reasons why so many people are moving here is because of the southern charm and hospitality that you can find in this city. To really understand what it's like living here, we first have to understand what part of Metro Atlanta Peachtree City is in. It's actually in the south side of Metro Atlanta. Many of the suburbs that we talk about on this channel are like on the north side. Marietta, Suwanee, Alpharetta, these are all north of Metro Atlanta, but Peachtree City is kind of the exception. It's on the south side, and in general you would find that many people on the south side are very still a bit more southern maybe than like the northern side. That kind of southern hospitality is still very strong on the south side. I actually grew up on the south side. I used to live there for about 30 years and I miss it so much, and I loved living down there because people there are just so friendly. The hospitality, it's so common for people to like open the door for you. People still say please and thank you, yes sir, yes ma'am. This is the kind of culture that you find in Peachtree City. The parents still teach their kids the importance of being respectful to their elders and being polite to their neighbors. And so this is something that you don't really find in other parts of Metro Atlanta, especially not like in the middle of the city of Atlanta. This kind of vibe is not really something that you see in Atlanta. So to be able to find that still in one of the suburbs of Atlanta is so nice and so refreshing. Every time I go back down to Peachtree City, I love the feeling there. I love just how nice and welcoming people are there. So if that's the kind of experience that you're looking for, then you definitely want to check out Peachtree City. What's up, y'all? My name is Victor with Atlanta Suburban Living, and we put out videos every week about what it's like to live here in Atlanta and the surrounding suburbs. Another reason why everybody is moving here to Peachtree City is the price of the homes. This is one of those cities where like they have the excellent schools and no crime and like everybody's super welcoming. Like it's hard to find some suburbs like that in Metro Atlanta. There are many suburbs where there's low or no crime, but it's like nobody lives there. Of course there's going to be no crime. Or there's like areas where the schools are 10 out of 10, but the home prices are crazy high. So it's hard to find a mix of all of those things and still find affordable homes in those cities, because all of those things are correlated to the price. So like if you see an area with super excellent schools and super low crime, then you tend to see super high prices. But Peachtree City is the exception. You find all of these things, the excellent school districts, the low crime, and the home prices here are still affordable. One of the best ways to measure what the home prices are like is to see what the price is per square foot. Like, are you getting a whole lot of home for your money, or are you getting a tiny home for your money? And in Peachtree City, the average price per square foot for a home is $227. This means that for a typical 2,500 square foot home, you'd be paying about $567,000 for a home. Compare this to another excellent suburb of Metro Atlanta, like Alpharetta, where the average price per square foot is $252, and you can instantly see that it's much higher of a jump in Alpharetta. For that same 2,500 square foot home, you'd be looking at $630,000 in Alpharetta. So you still have all of the great amenities that you can find in Alpharetta, but you can find them in Peachtree City for a much lower price. And this brings many of the people around Atlanta and out of state to this city. Of course, if you're thinking about buying a home in Peachtree City, or you just have any questions about what it's like to live here, feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. Thank you so much to everybody who has reached out. I'm always happy to help. But another really big reason why so many people are moving here is the golf cart paths. I don't know if they have this in other states, but maybe it's just a weird Peachtree City thing, but there are golf cart paths like all over the city, not just for golf, although there are a lot of golf courses, but there are also these paths like through the shopping center areas, like from the neighborhoods to the grocery stores, or from the neighborhoods to the schools. It's not like everybody's running around in a golf cart. It's not like if you drive your car through there, you're going to look weird because everybody's in a golf cart. It's not that much, but there are quite a few people who own golf carts who use them to get to the grocery store or to drop off their kids or go to a friend's house. And so this really helps out a ton with that community feel and that family friendly atmosphere. All of these paths and all of this networking around the city makes it very easy to get around and not have to use your car. Another reason why so many people are moving here is because of its proximity to the airport. In fact, in the early 90s, as the Atlanta city was growing and as the airport was growing, and as there were more and more airlines coming to the city of Atlanta, the big influx of population in Peachtree City had to do with the airport. Many pilots, many airline employees who were working at Hartsfield-Jackson moved here to Peachtree City. And so there's a really close tie between this city and the airport, and that's because it's not that far of a drive. Of course, during rush hour, you are looking at a 30 to 45-minute commute, but still, this is nothing compared to the northern suburbs, which we normally talk about. For example, to get from Alpharetta or Marietta to the airport during rush hour, you're looking at about an hour and a half to maybe 2 hour commute. And so this is very problematic, especially if you're going to be using the airport often. So it's much easier to get there from Peachtree City. Of course, even if you're working at the airport, it's going to be a much easier commute. Another big one that brings a lot of people here to the city is the public schools. Peachtree Elementary School is a 9 out of 10, Booth Middle School is a 9 out of 10, and McIntosh High School is a 9 out of 10. So no matter what part of the city you're living in, Peachtree City has excellent public schools. In fact, Peachtree City is in Fayette County, and the county in general is known for having excellent schools, much better than some of the counties and cities surrounding that area. And then when it comes to school districts, some people lately have been asking me about how this works. Like, if you live in an area, do you have to go to that school, or can you pick different schools? And the answer is that each school is associated with a district, even with an address. So that home address where you live has a public school that's tied to it, and your student or your child can't go to a different public school. There are not really like options for this. I have heard of the 1 in 1,000 or 1 in a million areas or addresses that have an option for this, but this is very, very rare. Of the 40 years that I have lived here in Metro Atlanta, I've never lived in a home where the address is like gives you an option for which school to go to. It's always that if you live at this address, you have to go to this school, even if that school grows so much and there are still like a whole bunch of students in that school. They don't let the residents go to a different school. They typically, when this happens, they just open a new school. And so some of those students go to the new school and some go to the same school, but they don't give the residents an option about which school to go to. You have to go to the school that's associated with that address. And then, of course, a big one that brings a lot of people here, again, is the community feel here. It all has to do with the schools and the home prices and the golf cart paths. All of this really brings a lot of great community to the area, but there are really a whole lot of downsides to living here in Peachtree City. I mean, every city has its downsides, and we need to talk about too, what are the bad parts about living here in Peachtree City? Because if you plan on buying a home here in Peachtree City, or you plan on moving here, then you need to really have the whole picture so that you're not just seeing one side or just the good of any area. So if you want a full list of the pros and the cons of living here in Peachtree City, you can check out this video. I'll see you there.